Hey everyone, so welcome back to my channel, and today I wanted to do a pretty fun video. Well, I think it's fun. I wanted to share something with you guys that I'm super excited about, and I did tease it a little bit on my community tab. If you haven't seen that, you can go check it out. But basically, it's just a teaser of some designs I've been working on. I've been working really hard on some planner and journal like insert ideas for 2025, and also just for my my website that I'm going to be launching soon. If you guys have been on my channel for a while, like, journaling is very easy for me. Like, I love journaling. It's such a fun hobby. I struggle with it sometimes, writing in it daily and all that, but for the most part I really enjoy journaling. So journaling was never the struggle. The struggle for me has always been planners. So I know that a lot of times in this community people kind of interchange planners and journals. I think it's probably because of like the Hobonichi system, right? The Hobonichi cousin or weeks systems, where there is like a planner aspect to it, but there's daily pages, so people use Hobonichis as a planner and a journal. And to be honest, that doesn't really work well for me. I feel like I'm somebody who has to compartmentalize things because I'm super ADHD about everything. I'm not able to use my Hobonichi cousin system, for example, as a functional planner and a journal, because when I start going into journaling, I lose the planning aspect of it, if that makes sense. So I do need like a separate planner system that isn't my journal. This is my Sterling Common Planner. It has the same like layout as a Hobonichi cousin. This is a half-year planner, and I have filled it out to the brim. This was literally an entry from yesterday. I have pretty much written in this for almost every day, not every single day, but for the most part, especially from October to now, like, I've definitely been consistent. Now, here is the monthly section. This is August. This is September. Okay, I did really well in October, but, you know, that's because it's October. And I didn't even fill this November section out, which, you know, it's November now. Okay, and then, you know, I started getting kind of into it when I first got it, and then these are the weekly sections. So sometimes I get all out, and other times it's just absolutely dead. I can't remember the last time I filled this out. Oh, I guess it was October. Okay, I guess it was the beginning of November. But yeah, this is the week we're on, and as you can see, it's all blank. The reason I wanted to show you guys this too, I think a lot of times in this community, and I do it too, so I'm not like trying to call anyone out, like, we tend to show like the pages that are actually filled, right? I mean, naturally, because like, who wants to see blank pages? But I just want to validate. I wanted to show you guys this because I want to validate that, yes, I struggle with this planning section. You don't have to use like all of the pages if it's not going to work for you. And this does not work for me when I am so focused on this, if that makes sense. So that is what I mean by like, I need that compartmentalization. I did recently have a lineup video. I showed the lineup video of what I'm going to use for 2025. I am going to go into the Sterling planner again, Sterling Ink Common Planner again in the A5. It's a full year planner this time. That is going to be my daily driver for journaling. And then the weeks is going to be my financial budgeting planner, which I'm also excited to get back into. And I also showed the Hobonichi Cousin A6 size, which I was planning to use as, I was kind of, well, like, if you watch that video, you would know, like, I was contemplating like how to utilize that one, or if I wanted that one to be my daily driver. I'm gonna keep it real with you guys. I'm still on the fence a little bit, but I do think I'm gonna use the A5 as, I think I'm gonna start off with the A5, let's just say that, because I just feel like I'm already comfortable with that size since I'm using the A5 right now. So I'm just gonna roll with it. That being said, get that out of the way. Yes, I do have something different here. As you can see, this is neither Hobonichi or Sterling Ink. This is in fact a small ring binder. Now, let me explain. So I also talked about my personal rings binder, which at the time I was using a Malden Filofax Molten. I love the leather cover. I like the planner. It was beautiful. But I had talked about this in a previous video as well, which I'll link. So if you're interested, you can watch it. But basically, I talk about the books that didn't work for me and why it's okay to abandon planners and journals and notebooks if they don't work for you. If you don't enjoy it, what is the point of being in this hobby, right? Like, what is the point? Don't let anyone guilt trip you. If it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you, okay? For me, that was the big point. The Filofax is something I've been trying to use since 2016, I believe. This is, I think I have a photo of my first Filofax. It was a black and white one. It was really cool, actually. I don't know if I can even find that again online. I mean, I did sell it at the time, but I've been a Filofax rings girly since like 2016, y'all, okay? I just feel like it's a planner that I've been trying to force for all these years. The biggest issue I have with the rings planners is that you have to take the pages out in order to write in them. Or at least I have to, because the ring, you know, like if you're trying to write in it, the ring is like in the way, especially for this size, for the A6 size. I do think A5 is definitely easier. You guys, I've tried every planner. Like, I honestly think I've tried every planner you can think of, except for maybe a plotter. But I've tried Traveler's Notebook. I had a Traveler's Notebook since like also 2016 or something like that. Obviously, the Filofax rings. The bound planners like Hobonichi, Weeks, Cousins, all of that. I've tried normal spiral notebooks. I've tried like composition notebooks. I have tried every single thing I think I could try with planners, and I just cannot seem to be settled into a planner. This was the closest I got to actually being in a planner that I like. This is something I picked up from Kinokuniya and Little Tokyo when I went back to LA. I think it's called the Jibun Techo. Okay, the Jibun, Jibun Techo. Okay, it is all in Japanese, and I'm not entirely sure what every section is for, but there are a lot of sections in this book. When I looked through it, I felt like maybe this was something that could actually work for me, and honestly, it was very unique. I have not seen this book or anyone even talk about this in the planner community, really. I think maybe I saw like one video or two video a while back. I did use it for a little while, but I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. I think because, okay, so the best way I can explain it is that I don't feel like I utilize this planner to its full potential because the sections are in Japanese. There are like instructions in English, I guess, if you look online, but I don't know. I wanted to forge my own path with it, and I don't know. Maybe I just didn't utilize it in the way that it's supposed to be used, but I just kind of couldn't really get into it. This is the planning section, so you have like your yearly overview. So there's all these like tracker sections that I just felt like it was too much. A map of Japan. I thought this could be a good travel like section. Then you have more like habit tracking. I feel like these sections are just too small to write in. So each point there's like, I don't know if you guys can see this, it's probably too small, but it's just the time. So it's like 6 a.m., 7 a.m., blah, blah, blah. And there's just not enough space to write out like anything like of substance. Yeah, I don't know. I struggle with this section in general, the weeks vertical, but let me know in the comments if you guys actually thrive in these weeks vertical sections, because I need to know y'all's secret. Like, what is it that you're doing that I don't understand? Oh my gosh. This is from Kinokuniya. Oh no. I forgot about this photo thing. This is from like a Purikura machine, or what is it called? I don't know what it's called in English. I don't know, the sticker booth things. And we took this when we went to Little Tokyo. They have like the sticker booths, like these Japanese sticker booth thingies. Oh my gosh, so funny. What is this photo? It's just like our knees. Anyway, I cannot deal with it. He just like looks like a girl, and he looks prettier than me. So I love looking through old planners and old journals to see like what photos and stuff I stored in there. This is pretty, isn't it? Little tulips. Anyway, but I did have fun decorating some of this stuff. Anyway, so I didn't mean to make this part so long. I'm sorry. Like, this video is not super planned out well. This is why I need a good planner, because I have not planned out these videos very well because I'm struggling with finding a planner. So this was a potential for kind of a good planner that I thought I would like, but unfortunately I think it's just too much and I don't like the weekly section. Okay, so just to sum it up, in case you like had to fast forward through all this rambling, the Filofax planners, the covers or whatever, the binders don't work for me. I tried something like the Jibun Techo, which is different, but still didn't work for me. I've tried everything, every type of planner that's out there. They just have not worked for me consistently. So, as I was fed up and I really wanted a good planning system, I thought, wait, I'm a graphic designer, okay? Why don't I just design my own planner? So, I don't know, it's something that I've been thinking about for a long time. I did a lot of research to come to this, okay? I did a lot of research. I really sat down and thought about what are the things that I need. I know I need a tactile book, but what kind of book? Is it a bound book? Is it a ring bound? You know, what type of book do I need? I actually like the idea of a ring bound. I always have. Like I said, I've been using Filofax since 2016 or 2015, right? And the issue is that I just don't like taking the pages out and putting them back in. I think it becomes cumbersome. I know it takes like a second, okay? I know. But it's just something about the motion. I just am not, I don't jive with it. I don't know. But I really like the rings system because you're able to customize it fully, right? You're able to take pages out. You're able to create different kind of pages and put them in. You're able to hole punch things and put them in really easily without having to glue everything in. So I like the system of a ring bound planner, and I think the issue is that I didn't like the binders that I was using. So I wanted something aesthetic, something simple, and something that didn't require me to take the pages in and out. So I'm sure you guys have heard of like disc bound planners. I did try one of those once, okay? One time I bought a Happy Planner, or no, it was like an Erin Condren planner, I think. It just didn't work for me. I didn't like the way the papers felt. I didn't like the way like putting the paper in and taking, I didn't like the system. I didn't like the way it felt. I didn't like the way the rings felt because they're all like made of plastic and stuff. I don't know. I just didn't like it. It wasn't for me, but you know, I wanted to experiment and try it out. So ultimately, I think aesthetically and just like functionality wise, I still preferred like 6 rings. And then I came across this, which is kind of funny because originally this binder, when I got this, I think it was like marketed as like a cash stuffing binder, and which I do cash stuffing as well, but so I think that's why it populated. But what was interesting about this binder is that it's just super simple, like super simple. Like there's just rings that you attach to 2 pieces of acrylic, like an acrylic hard cover. And what I immediately thought of is like, can you use this like folded, like you would fold like a spiral notebook? And lo and behold, you can. Okay, so when I got this and I realized that you could fold it like this, which means you can write in it folded without taking the paper out of the rings. I was like, oh, this is it. This is the one. Okay. So I'm not going to go into details of where I got this for a reason. Okay. I started getting inspired by the fact that like I finally found a binder that I think is going to work for me. And then on top of that though, it's not just about the binder. Like I said, it's the whole like paper like inserts that I wasn't happy with, and I wasn't able to find inserts that worked for me. And I started ideating my own designs. And what you're looking at, like this insert here, this is my design. I started talking to a manufacturer because I want to bring this whole system to my store. If you're anything like me and have struggled to find like a personalized planner that really works for you, maybe this system will work for you too. Like I said, I've said this so many times on my channel, but I am very, very ADHD. And I think it's important to note that because, you know, it's very hard for those of you guys who suffer from ADHD, you know, but it's very, very hard to stick to anything. Like, it's very hard to sit down and just like try and write out your, you know, day to day or your week to week or whatever, and really think about it like consistently, because just my brain doesn't work that way. And I think part of the reason that it's such a struggle when you're ADHD is just because you're not settled. Like, if you're not settled into a system, like if you don't absolutely love it, it is very, very difficult to like go back to it. Like my mind doesn't even think about it twice. Like, it's like, oh, I didn't use my planner for like 2 months. Oops, like I didn't even realize, right? It's like you don't really think about it. It's like out of your mind. So and then like 2 months later, I'll be like, oh my gosh, I haven't used this planner at all. Like, I'm totally wasting all the papers and all that. So with that in mind, I think that I needed a system that was a little bit modular, that like kind of fit things, like things fit together like Tetris pieces. I needed a system that was functional, that had prompts, but the problem I see with a lot of planners that are out there are the prompts don't really resonate with me and like aesthetically. So I know I needed something where the journal prompts and the aesthetic and the system in general like really works for my brain and how my brain functions. And so I decided to design it. And it's definitely going to be a work in progress. This is still a work in progress. What I'm showing you guys is not concrete at all. This video is not concrete at all, but I wanted to share it with you guys because I wanted to also get some opinions. And so that I can like take some of the feedback from you guys, hopefully, to help make it a better system. That being said, let me show you guys from the beginning. So I actually grabbed these from my Filofax. These were all in my Filofax Malden. I just carried it over to this one, just like the dashboards, and then this one because it's like important dates. And here is how I feel like my system is gonna work. These pages are all prototypes, so just FYI, it's not gonna be like super clean. So first section would be a monthly overview like this. And then I think I want to add like important dates here. Now everyone's important dates are going to be different because here I have like my birthday and my brother's birthday and like my partner's birthday and stuff like that, but which I can't like customize for everybody, right? But I think what I will have is like a section where you can put in the important dates, like for birthdays or whatever. And then I think what I'll do is also have a monthly like box sections, like a typical one that you would see, like the squares, and then you put in like whatever dates you want in there. I'm thinking of doing that, or just like a listicle of like important dates and stuff. I haven't figured out the designs yet, so I'm still working on it. But if it is the boxes that you usually see in like typical monthly sections, it would have to be like 2 pages, I'm assuming. So I'm still trying to figure out like how to go about it, but That is the initial idea with the monthly insert. And then you would go into a weekly insert. So weekly section here, you would have like a section to put in the week of. And then we're starting off with a habit tracker. So I think for me, I really like having this type of system where you have like something where you can like check, like a checklist to check off every day or every week. So this one has like, as you can see, like all of the days of the week, and then just some like trackers, like you worked out, you stretched, didn't spend, took vitamins, slept well, journaled, ate healthy. So these are all going to be kind of FPO, if you will, because I'm not entirely sure if this is like the universal list that everybody will jive with. I think I may offer a version where it's blank so that you guys can write in your own habit tracker list. But personally for me, I like that it's written out because to me it's a prompt. So it's just, I don't have to think about it. I don't have to write it out myself. It's just a prompt. So I do think some people may resonate with that as well. Like if you're somebody who needs like a prompt and you don't want to write all this out and think about it yourself, I do think that it might benefit you as well. So I'm going to try and experiment with 2 different versions, a blank version that's customizable and then like a prompt version. But I'm trying to figure out all of the checklist items. I definitely think journaled is a good one because I don't see that very often. And I definitely think did not spend is a good one because I tend to overspend and I'm trying not to. Okay, and then the next section below that is important dates. So this is basically just like if you have appointments, like I had a vet appointment and then I have like a new project kickoff. This section, I'm trying to figure out the sizing for it. Obviously, with it being an A6, there's a limitation of space in general with this binder and how much I can like put in here. But I think that like for the most part, just having like, I don't know, like 6 sections or 6 boxes, or yeah, that might be like enough. There's just not a lot of room to write here. So I'm trying to figure out like the balance with this section, but I think it's nice to have important dates for that week. You obviously have important dates for the monthly overview, so you'll have like all your important dates written out for the whole month. But just for the weekly section, I do often want a place in my planner where I can look back and see what are the key things I really have to do that week. So I do like having this section like right in the middle. Then below that is a note section. So just for example, I said this week we're focusing on finishing up leftover projects for work and then backfilling my journals. So I made this section purposely very small just because you're gonna have an entire like other section to write out your thoughts more fully. This is just more of like a blurb, like quick FYI, like this week, this is what we're focusing on. So that's why I made this section pretty small. And then below that, this is where the experimentation is still ongoing. But I wrote out like a meetings, I don't know if you guys can see that, meetings, appointments, events section. So this again has like the day of the week, but I kind of messed up because I forgot to put it in Friday. Oops. I told you guys that the weekly vertical sections were not working for me. And I think it's just because I need more space to write out what I actually need to do that week. My thought is that on the back here, it's blank. And I was thinking that on the back here is where I can actually write out like a week, like kind of like a week's, like where I can write out my thoughts for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm actually going to write this out. Oh, and the way it's intended. I love this, by the way. Just being able to fold it over like a spiral notebook. Absolutely love it. Okay, so my idea was that on the back section, it would be more like, you know, Monday, Tuesday. Okay, like more like this. Obviously, I didn't have it typed out. I went back and forth with this, and let me know what you guys think. But the reason that I didn't have this typed out is because, like, what if you want to use this back section for something else? What if you don't care about utilizing this like weekly vertical type of system where you have to write things out in full? Because I feel like I do have to write it out in full, but maybe you don't. So that's the thing. Like, I'm trying to design it with not just myself in mind, but ultimately with myself in mind, but with like everyone else in mind as well. That it's kind of like a neutral balance. Because for me, I don't really need, so my idea with this section is that I'm just writing out, sorry, let me show it to you. Like this. Okay. My idea with this section is that I'm just writing out the time, like the time, and like these I know are meetings. Like I just know these are meetings, and it's just like a short, like small space to write that you do have something coming up at a certain time. It's just a quick glance, if you will. Like there's not enough room for details, obviously, but I know, at least I know that on Monday, like on Monday at 12 p.m. something is up, right? Like you can put meeting, like I can definitely put like meeting, but there's not enough room for details. So I already know I know these two are meetings, but there's not enough room for details. But at least in my mind, I can look at this at a glance, like Monday morning, and be like, okay, 12 o'clock, I do have a meeting. So I can't, you know, I have to be like present. I have to make sure I'm not doing anything else before that. So this section, my idea was that you're just looking at like the weekly calendar, I guess, at a glance, just so you are aware that things are happening at the times. So I just put in the times of whatever is happening. Now, the idea with this is on the other side, on the back side, you're able to write out like it more in detail. So Monday I can write out I have a staff meeting, or like a catch-up meeting or kickoff meeting, whatever the meeting is, right? I can put it out more in detail. But for those of you who don't care for that, like who don't want to utilize this as a weekly section, that's why I ultimately am deciding to leave it blank. But I think what I will do is also create some clear stickers that have like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like the days of the week, so that you can add them on here, and that way you can utilize it in that way if you want to, because I actually want to utilize it in that way. But I also understand that not everybody wants to use the blank sections for that purpose. Maybe you want to elaborate more on the important dates or the notes. So that is ultimately why I left it blank, but I do personally want to use it like this. And then we go into the daily sections. So the daily sections, there's going to be 7 pages for, you know, each day of the week. They all look like the same, but I'm going to walk you guys through the idea of, oh, and here's a blank one of the weeks, just so you know what it looks like. The idea of the daily sheets, again, there would be 7 of these for each corresponding week sheet. And the daily sheets are kind of similar. There's going to be a system here where it is like kind of a tracker of sorts. And I think the reason I landed on adding these trackers to the weekly and the daily sheets is because to be honest with you guys, I like the visual of it. I like that my daily planner and my weekly sections are starting off with some kind of visual. And this makes it so I don't feel like I need to like spend too much time decorating the planner or anything. It's not just all words. There are some little visual things. It's very simple and subtle. Obviously, they're just boxes and like some circles, but to me, it satisfies my need for that visual. So you'll have the date up here that you can write in. And then these boxes are for you to fill in. So for example, like what time did you wake up today? And then what time did you go to bed? How much you spent today? How many steps you took? Calorie intake? hours worked. And then on this pink section, did you drink water today? Did you stretch? Did you eat? Did you walk? Did you shower? Did you wash your hair? Did you journal? Did you take breaks? Again, all of FPO, but I definitely think drinking water, stretch, and washing your hair is a really, and journaled, are good ones to keep in. And then I added a little section here with these fill-in bubbles. This is blank because I think this is just for like miscellaneous things that you want to put in yourself. Okay, and then this last section here on the very right with these little filler bubbles, the idea here is to fill in the bubbles like if you did it. And I left it blank, and this section is very small, but I did leave it blank because I felt like this could be changed daily. This is something that could have like daily variables and changes. For example, like I wanted to treat this more as like a checklist, which everybody has different lives and different checklists of things they need to do. So that is ultimately why I left it blank. But for example, it could be like, I got my groceries, I ate, bought cat food, changed cat litter, or clean the cat litter box, I don't know, like called mom, I don't know, whatever like random like thing that you want to do for that day, that you wanted to schedule for that day or have a to-do list. That is kind of the idea of this box. Now I'm still working out the kinks to everything because again, this section is very, very small, so it might be hard for a lot of people to write in. I can make my handwriting very small. Sometimes it's big if I'm feeling lazy, but I can personally write in here just fine, but it may be too small for some people for comfort. So I may like kind of work with the sizing a little bit better, maybe have less of these and have more spacing or something like that, just so there's more space to write below. But that is kind of the idea with this tracker section. Below that is a to-do, important notes, priorities, tasks. And then song or quote of the day is the last thing I put on the end because I thought this would be a fun little prompt to add in. And I personally, like, I always have like a song I listen to like each day that kind of stands out. So I thought that would be fun. It's a little bit small for a quote, like a long quote, obviously. So this section, again, I may widen it a little bit so that it's more like maybe here, because this page and this section, even though it's for like notes, it's not meant to be like a journal portion. It's just like, again, quick jot of notes and highlights. So maybe I'll add more room for like quotes or songs or movies or whatever you want to put down there. It's just more for fun. And then on the back of this section, I wrote out journals. So that is the idea, is that you would be journaling. I don't know what's going on here with my pen. The idea is that you would be journaling on the back section here. So you would have plenty of space to write out like a daily journal, daily memory logger, whatever you want to do with that section. So yeah, that is the idea with my custom planner. I'm like super excited about it because I really want to start diving into it and also be able to share this with you guys because, yeah, I don't know, I'm just very excited to have a customized planner system. I also want to show you guys something that I've been working on top of this, on top of the planner inserts. And also like some experimentation that I was doing. So in the beginning, the very first iteration I had of this planner insert idea was, it looked like this. So this would have been like a daily section. And this is something that I may still work on and offer as well, because to be honest with you, I kind of like the way this looks. It's very simple. Just to me, it didn't really make the most sense because even though I think it looks really nice visually, I don't know if this section having like this 4x4 like square like makes the most sense. So that's ultimately why it went from this to this. And Where is my weekly section? And I tried to integrate it more into that weekly. Yeah, I try to integrate this because I like the way it looked into this weekly section, because I think this makes more sense. So you can see how we went from here to this. I just wanted to show you guys that in case, if you guys see that as more interesting, something interesting that might work for you, let me know in the comments. And then I also was experimenting with bag collection catalog inserts. I thought this would be fun because obviously, like, if you are on my channel, you know that I love bags and I collect bags. So maybe just to be able to catalog the bags I have, and then also like maybe bags I want to like sell, and then a SLG and bag wish list. So I'm still figuring out the design for this. I don't really love this design, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's just too many boxes, but yeah. And the last customized thing I want to show you guys is the budget planner section. So I actually came up with this design like a year ago. I just never really like brought it into fruition. This is a like monthly bills and expenses overview, and you basically have like the income and paycheck section on the bottom, followed by like the total, the bills total, so you can see like how much money you're making, how much money you're spending. And then this top section here, basically this top here is just, oops, I don't know if you can see that. Okay, this top section here is so you guys can circle like the day or the month of the year that you're on. And you can tell I made this last year because it says 2023. And then this part here is your bills and expenses and how much it is and the due date, and then a checklist if you paid it or not. So I really just like the way that it looks. And yeah, I just I wasn't really sure like how to utilize this in my planner system at the time, but I did design a couple of like budgeting sheets as well. So yeah, and I just have to reiterate again that how much I love being able to fold the pages and just like write in it freely. So I'm super excited. I cannot wait to show you guys all of the ideas I have planned for next year, but also just like, you know, like what I'm working on right now. And I think that my goal is to be able to have like a totally custom planner system, including budgeting, including a monthly, including like a weekly section and all that, and be able to offer you guys something very unique, something different from what's on the market already. And that is my ultimate goal with designing this custom planner. I'm just really, really excited about it. And even if, you know, I think for me, I'm ultimately like designing this and creating this for my own use. Obviously, like I want something that will work for me, but at the end of the day, you know, like I know that there are people out there who could benefit from a system like this. So I'm hoping that if you guys are watching, that this can resonate with you. Just like having this like prompt every single day to me just makes sense. And this way I can look back on like every day of that week and see what you know, my habits are looking like. It'll definitely give you a good overview of if you're drinking enough water, you know, if you're spending a lot of money, if you're eating poorly, if you're going to bed too late, and like all of that. And just being able to see it visually like this is really comforting, and also just like feels like it will work because it's not too convoluted, it's not confusing, it's very like easy to follow and easy to look back at. So that is kind of ultimately the goal with this planner system. In terms of the actual hard binder, again, like I said, I am talking to some manufacturers to see if I can get these customized as well. Something that I want to be able to bring to my store or my online shop, so that I can offer you guys like something cool and something unique, and ultimately something very aesthetic but functional. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was definitely probably a longer video than usual, and yeah, it's been very exciting. Like, I can barely contain my excitement because I am so excited to just share all this stuff with you guys. And yeah, anyway, appreciate you guys watching as always, and in the next video I will talk a little bit about these booklets. They're just here kind of for decoration and to pique interest, but these are cool little zines that I picked up when I was in Edinburgh. So yeah, but I'll talk about more of that in like a journaling video. But appreciate you guys being here and hanging out with me and my pumpkin jelly cat. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!